Hello and welcome to Sourced in the Spotlight. My name is Chris and I'll be your host. And with me today, we've got a long-term franchisee. Been with us for 3 years now?
3 years.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Ariel Fuchs. I came in the UK nearly 10 years ago, and I started here as a software developer. But things changed into being a property investor.
So tell us, where does that accent come from?
Well, I'm originally Italian, and I lived all my life in Milano, in Italy.
So I'm really interested because I've always been interested in property. Even before I had dreams and aspirations of owning property. We're led to believe that that's a very English thing, it's a very British thing. Did you know 10 years ago when you came over here that you wanted to be involved in property? Or is that something that's grown in you since you've been over here?
Well, that's a very good question, because actually one of the least things I would have thought I would have done in my life is properties. And I think that's because in Italy, the property market is very different than here, or maybe my connections were different. But property was something I never considered, and none of my friends were doing properties. While here, something that sparked my interest in property is because I saw many people here in England are involved in properties, something that in Italy is much more rare.
So since coming to the UK and since joining as a Sourced partner 3 years ago, what have you achieved in property?
So since I joined Sourced 3 years ago, I started my own projects. I bought a few houses and that now I'm renting, and I'm renting to social care providers. I'm renting as a service accommodation. I've done my own projects, bought houses at a very good price, and then I could have achieved an increase in value. So I think I've achieved quite a lot.
And where do you want to take it from here?
So now the next step is helping other investors, other people, maybe even Italian people that don't know the English market to achieve the same that I've done so far.
And would you say that you specialise in finding any particular type of property, or are you open to looking for anything?
I think what you can do best is what you have done yourself. So what I've done myself is concentrating on properties that can achieve a good yield. Renting them out, they can get a good cash flow. Not such big investments, regular homes that don't cost too much as an investment. I prefer maybe to have more houses than concentrate into one.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I would suggest to an investor that want to invest with me.
Tell us, over the time that you've been looking at property, investing in property in the UK, tell us 3 top tips coming from somebody who hasn't grown up with the UK property market.
Well, if I have to look back, even before I started with Sourced, I started looking around what I can do. And I happened to speak with some other people that do sourcing. But in the end, I thought, well, maybe I can do it myself. And that's what all started. But if I have to look back, if I would have used one of those sources, probably now I would be ahead. So a tip that I would give to anyone that wants to start is to find someone you can trust and work with, because that could save you a lot of time.
So you mentioned finding sources or working with sources. So how would somebody start to find a sourcer? Is it networking that you've used to find the sources or connect with sources that you've been in touch with?
So yes, that's a good point, because I think when I started going to some networking events and meeting with some sourcers, with other people that were doing in property, but I couldn't really maybe trust them enough. And one reason I think was because I wasn't using social media. Now that I'm much more into social media than before, I realized that if you want to find someone, one way which is very powerful is looking in his social media. Because if you speak randomly at an event, well, you don't have enough understanding of this person. While if this person is present on social media, has a lot of followers, people comment on his posts, he says good things, you can have much more trust in the person. So I think social media is a good way to find who you want to work with.
And what's your preferred platform?
Definitely LinkedIn. It's more professional people that are there. It's not just for giving random content. It's more technical. It's more focused on business.
And do you find sources on LinkedIn? I must admit, I've never looked for property sources on LinkedIn, but can you find them on there?
Yeah, I'm connected to plenty of other people that do the same, and I think some are very good.
Mm-hmm. And is that the best place for people to find you as well?
I guess so, yes. Also because I put my effort on LinkedIn only.
Okay.
So the other thing that, especially in the beginning, I couldn't understand the numbers, because you start talking about property. A property, you don't know the value. You don't know if somebody can tell you this property has an end value of whatever, 200,000. And say, yes, but based on what? What is the evidence? If you're starting off, you don't know. And one way that I would suggest anyone that wants to understand more nowadays is using artificial intelligence. There are plenty of ways to ask the artificial intelligence to help you with numbers and to give you an idea. What somebody is telling you is a good deal is really a good deal.
Really fast as well, I guess, in comparison to doing the due diligence yourself. I imagine AI can come up with a fairly accurate number very, very quickly, which if you can get that number from AI really quickly and you see that it still works, it's worth you spending a little bit more time to double check the number that AI is giving you. Whereas if you're doing the hard work, the legwork manually yourself for every single property that you find, that's going to take you a lot longer.
Yes, that's the advantage of using AI, that you can automate a lot of processes, and one of them is to get evaluation of a house. Of course, like in AI, now it's a big topic, because AI, as you know, you have to know how to use it. Because if you just put numbers in AI and you expect to get the precise answer, you might not get it. And if you try it, even the same house, the same address, you will get different answers. I've tried asking AI, giving even the same inputs. It can give you 5 minutes after a different evaluation. So you need to understand how to input the values, but still it's a good tool to understand if what another sourcer that is offering you a deal is something which is reasonable or not.
Yeah. And tip number 3?
So another tip is, of course, if you are inside a bigger network like Sourced, and that was also the reason why I decided to join Source in the first place, because it gives you more trust for somebody that doesn't know you. So being part of a bigger team can help anyone to trust more the people that are inside this bigger team. So that's something that I think is valuable.
It's the place that you met your business partner, right?
Yes. Being part of a bigger network is a big advantage, because I've met other people inside the network that are working with me, and we're doing projects together. And whenever I need help, now I'm remortgaging one of my properties. There is people in the team that help me. It's a big advantage to have a marketing team around. We are part of a bigger team. It's not just me working alone. Being part of a bigger network, a bigger team is a big advantage for me and for the people that work with me.
So give us an example of something that you've done with somebody that you've met through Source. What's your most recent project that you've done?
So the last project was supposed to be a flip. I found a house for a very good price, and I decided to buy it and resell it. I wasn't confident to do it all on my own, so I reached out to my now business partner, Rick, and we did it together. And the project started with this idea to buy it and resell it. Then things along the way didn't work out as we wanted, because now the market is a bit lower than it was a year ago, and things dragged a little bit longer. So now we switched our plans, and we are using the house as a service accommodation.
Okay.
So that was a big learning process, how things work, because it was not a massive project, but it was a full renovation of the house, and also the strategy that we ended up doing as a new strategy for me. So that was a big learning lesson, and so far it worked well.
And is that the kind of thing that we can expect to see more of from you over the next couple of years?
Yes, I will definitely do other projects like those. But I think what I've achieved so far, I've done projects myself, this type of project, and I've started to get hands-on and learned a lot of lessons. And now I want also to apply those lessons not only for myself, but to help other investors to do the same.
Okay, so you're going to do more deal sourcing and selling the deals on for that kind of project?
Yes, still sourcing or maybe other types of joint ventures. But yes, that's the plan, not to work only for my own projects, but to work for other people as well.
And so if you're looking for properties for other people, or you're looking for projects that you can do with other people, can you bring your old career into this, the software development, the AI integration, the technology stuff?
Yes, that's definitely one of the goals. Actually, to be honest, when I started moving into properties, one of my idea was, well, I've done a software development for quite a long time. Maybe I now do something which is not so much into computers. I'm getting a bit older. Maybe I should start doing something which is more on the ground. But then I understood that actually in property, lots goes around numbers and searching, and my background is actually very, very useful in properties. And now with the power of AI, I am discovering that I can use a lot of my background into properties to find deals, to make evaluation of a house, to create different tools that can help. And I'm already working on those things, and to use my background, my knowledge in software development to create things that can help myself or other investors as well.
So what's the best way that people can get in touch with you if they're interested in joint venturing, or if they want to buy a deal that's been found by AI?
Well, I think the best way is connecting with me with LinkedIn, and if you search for my name, Ariel Fuchs, and you will find me. I have a lot of followers, so you can quickly understand who I am.
Follow the crowd. That's how you'll find him in LinkedIn. Thanks very much, Ariel.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.